Good evening, everyone. It's Motivational Monday, and it's LuAnn, and I'm thrilled to be here. Of course, I'm not at Roca tonight at the gym because I'm traveling, which many of you know I travel a lot. I'm up in the North Woods of Minnesota, one of my favorite places in the world, on the shores of Lake Superior in Duluth. And I wanted to be outside to do this with you, really on the shores of Lake Superior, but it has been storming all day long. You get a glimpse of the trees in the background. Here, I'll pick you up. Little glimpse of Lake Superior. So beautiful, even when it's storming. But we are confined to our hotel room because of the rains. But that's all right. We're still having a great time. And I have a great visitor with me this evening to share some insight on how she has helped me and can help you as well. And so Amy Theisen. Welcome, Amy.
Thanks, LuAnn. Great to be here.
Amy is with us. She is a Feng Shui master. And it was in this very spot, I think about 3 years ago, maybe 4. And first time I met Amy, and I came to this meeting here. By the way, we're here for a BNI Director Summit. And I was like out of sorts. I was like, oh my gosh, nothing is right in my life. I feel completely out of whack. Just like, you know that feeling? And so I happened to share that with Amy around the campfire outside that night. And I'm like, help me. Oh my gosh. Feng Shui, I don't even know what it does, but help me. She's like, what's your birthday? She pulls out her phone and her little app and her knowledge and information. And she's like, well, it's July. And what I know is your signs are in conflict. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? She's like, I don't think you should work in July. Because they're always going to be that way. I'm like, oh, great.
July's your vacation month.
So that's what it became. In that month, in that year, I was like, yeah, I got a lot of work I'm doing. But she also said to me, don't make any major decisions. And I was really struggling at the time with trying to shift the message in my business. And I stopped. I stopped struggling. I let it go. I'm like, it's going to come to me. Amy said so. And so I'm just going to let it go and just enjoy the month of July. And then I set the intention, which you know how I believe in setting intentions. And so I set the intention that for then on, every year in July, I would not work. I would just have fun. That's what I do now. I have the BNI conference it starts actually, with my family, 4th of July, which is usually a week at my sister's house. And we had 40 people there this year from the family. It was really, really great. And then I come up to Duluth for the BNI Director Summit. And then I'm going kayaking over in Bayfield, Wisconsin. Then I get to go to San Francisco for the Transformational Leadership Council event that I do every July. And I won't be back till the 31st. So it's kind of work because everything I do, right, I call them workations. Yeah. Everything I do is a vacation, and I'm absorbing things for my work, and I'm transforming, I'm gathering new information. But I'm not making any major decisions. I'm just enjoying and absorbing, and every July I think of Amy because she gave me this message to help me be at ease in this month when my signs are in conflict. So Amy's going to share with us what Feng Shui is and how it helps people design their life, which is the name of her business, Infinity Life Design. So Amy, share with us. Sure. Give us a little education about Feng Shui.
So the first thing that I found is when I started studying Feng Shui way back 12 years ago, is a lot of what's here over in the United States is a lot about interior design. It's picking colors, it's putting furniture in different situations. And I thought there had to be more to it, because if all these emperors were able to take over full kingdoms, it had to be more than just the color they had painted on the kingdom wall.
Wait a minute. Chinese emperors were able to take over full kingdoms using this methodology.
Mm-hmm. Yep, using the methodology that I know.
There you go.
So I found a school that actually is based in Malaysia. It's called the Master Academy of Chinese Metaphysics. And I've been studying with a Feng Shui consultant here, actually out in California, for about 18 months. So you know how you kind of get an ego about things. And when I started at the Master Academy, I thought this is going to be a piece of cake for me because I've been studying for a year and a half and I was pretty good at it. And I had a little bit of arrogance, I admit. And I said, can I test out a level 1 and level 2? They said, well, we can test you out a level 1, but we really need you to take level 2. So I tested out level 1, and I was humbled really quickly because level 1 exhausted the extent of my knowledge.
Hmm.
So what Master Academy taught in 6 hours, took me 18 months to learn in this other school. And I kind of went, uh-oh. So one of the pieces that which you had experience with is something called Bazi, B-A-Z-I. It can be related to Western astrology, but it's the Chinese version, and there's a little bit deeper depth to it than just astrology. And so in Feng Shui or Chinese metaphysics, we use Bazi to make a diagnosis. So you don't go to the doctor, and they talk to you, right? They ask you what your symptoms are, what's going on, so that they can they do some tests.
Sure.
They test you out, they take your blood, they take your temperature, your blood pressure, whatever it might be, so they can diagnose what's going on.
Sure.
That's what a Bazi chart is all about. Taking a diagnosis, look, where's the challenges for you, where's the opportunity for you. Then we look at the house Feng Shui to see how we can improve on what might be a challenge for you. Or is the house supporting that challenge for you?
So wait a minute. 3 years ago, when you took that information from me, which I recall to be my birth date and the time I was born, which piece is that?
That's the Bazi.
That's the Bazi.
So I if I can get this to focus on here. It might not focus. No, it doesn't like that.
You're going to have to get your own Bazi.
Maybe back here like that. So the issue that comes up for you in every July is so those of you out there in the audience, you know that when you go to a Chinese restaurant, they have different placemats on the table. And so everybody looks, what year was I born? What animal am I? And so LuAnn was born the year of the ox in 1961. So that's the first piece of information. Well, she was born a certain month. It happens to be the month of the pig. And she was born the day of the ox. And she was born the hour of the tiger.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh.
I like that.
That gives you that car accident stuff we talked about in 2016. So actually relates to a month, specifically the month of January, and then opposite of the ox happens to be July. So February.
Okay, wait, I was born in November.
Yeah, but this is the year you were born.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
You were born the year of the ox and the day of the ox, not the month of the ox.
I gotcha.
So when we look at the 12 animal signs that we use, it's like a clock. So whatever's opposite on the clock is what you clash with. So opposite ends, so the ox would be at the 7 o'clock position.
Okay.
And the goat would be at the 1 o'clock position.
Okay.
So it'd be 1 and 7 clash. So ox and goat clash. July happens to be the ox or the goat month.
Okay.
Which is the issue that I was talking to you about.
So I clash
in 2 places in your chart. Which is why July will always be a more difficult month for LuAnn, because she might as well just use it to fill her bucket with the travel she does, the relationships that she's building, because she's going to meet a lot of people as she's filling her bucket that she can then go back in a better month to build the relationship that she needs to propel her business forward. So when you know that information, you can make better choices so that you don't have to struggle and pound your head against the wall and fight to try to make forward progress. You can say, hey, you know what? This happens to be the month that I'm at a disadvantage. So in my chart, I have 2 rabbits. An opposite of rabbit is rooster. Rooster happens to be September. So for me, September is a month that I shut my mouth because it happens to be an argument clash for me. And I noticed that I am a little bit shorter temper, and I'm a little bit more prone to lose that temper in September than I am in other times of the year.
So it's interesting, Amy, because I do a lot of relationship building and traveling in July, and I often have a desire for something to come of that. It's like, what did I learn in that moment? What did I gain from that experience? And I often want it, like right now, it's that instant gratification thing that we all have a challenge with. right? But I just need to relax and let it be because I am moving it forward. She's smiling.
Would you like to know what month to use?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got months like that. Also have months that are really positive.
New information.
So the ox really likes the snake month, and it likes the rooster month. So the rooster month, remember the month I said that is?
September.
Well, how convenient is that? Because you're making the relationship in July. August, you can kind of think, okay, what do I want to do with those relationships? And then September is when you make the move.
Connect.
You connect.
I love that.
Yeah. The other thing.
What is the snake one then?
That's another one. The snake one happens to be in May. So you can do something with those relationships, keep building them into the horse month, which is June, and then lie low in July, which is your
month. Very fascinating.
Okay? So there's different months that you might, if you start keeping track or thinking about what is the month that's the toughest for you. When does it always seem like things are a little bit more difficult? That could be your clash month. So rather than going, trying to row your boat upstream,
right,
you say, you know what, I'm just going to coast for a while. I'm going to find a little place to pull in and rest. And so then you can start paddling again and turn your boat around and then paddle with the current.
I love the analogy because you know what?
You like the water.
I love the water. And in August, I go on my transformational trip with 8 women into the Boundary Waters canoe area. And so, yeah, we'll be together.
Would you like to know why you really like the water?
Yes. See, she's a plethora of information.
Okay, so when I looked at LuAnn, we have something called the day master. LuAnn was born. Remember, I said she was born on the ox day. It was her, the elements of the ox day she was born was actually yin water, exactly what's going on behind us, this rain, this gentle rain. So yin water people like to move. They know they can go under, they can go around roadblocks. They don't let anything stop in their way. So if you think you're going to stop LuAnn in anything, you are not correct. She's going to figure out a way to use whatever she can to get around, under, over, or through.
I do that with any company I've worked for.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Yin water is what carved the Grand Canyon.
Cool.
Okay? So yin water is like the gentle rain. It's like the babbling brook. Lake Superior would be considered yang water. Okay, it's like so the big ocean. It's like the big Niagara Falls waterfall. It's so a lot big. It's a lot pushier. It's a lot harsher. Yin water people are very, very good teachers. They're very good educators. They're very good storytellers. So that's where yin water strength really lies.
And does that sound like me?
I think so.
That was one of the things Amy said to me that day 3 years ago. She looked at my chart and she said, the first thing I can tell you is you're a teacher. And I went, I am. And I finally owned it in that moment that I actually am a teacher. If you know my story, my dad was a teacher. And when I was applying for colleges, he looked at me and he said, well, what are you going to be when you grow up? That would help you pick colleges. And I said, well, I'm going to be a teacher like you. Isn't that what you do? You follow in your father's footsteps. I was coming from that place of following my father's footsteps, not my choice, not my love, not my passion, but from a place of that's what I was supposed to do. And my dad looked at me, now having raised 7 children on a teacher's salary, and he said, do something else. And God bless him, he's no longer with us, but in my head I heard, there's not enough money in teaching, go do something else. And so I set a course on getting into the hotel business, which by and large I loved and enjoyed, but I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher at heart. And when Amy said that to me, I totally owned it and have lived a completely different way since then because of just that simple thing, that one message. And she's a plethora more of knowledge. So I want to get back to, because you said to me earlier today, when I invited you to be a part of this, that there was something about my year.
Oh, yeah.
And this year, 2016 versus absolutely. 1961, when I was born.
So this year is the year of the fire monkey. So the new year for the 20s happens sometime between January and February. So there's usually information out there in the paper. Oh, it's the Chinese New Year and right. Big celebrations. Well, for the purposes of doing a Bazi analysis, we always have the year starting on February 4th. It's the difference between the solar and lunar calendar. So February 4th is when the new year starts. And this year's animal is the fire monkey. So Monkey doesn't like tiger.
Oh,
So
shoot.
we talked about these elements that are in the animal. So tiger is a really tall, strong tree. Okay.
And
so,
tiger is a piece of who I am.
yes, tiger is our that we are.
Okay.
So the tiger is the area clashed this year by the monkey year. So
Gotcha.
in LuAnn's chart, the tiger represents her hopes and her dreams for children and people that might work under her. So that type of thing. So personally, how it's going to affect LuAnn is she might have a little bit of shift on some of the hopes and dreams and goals that she sets for herself. She also might feel like, am I ever going to reach it? Because totally feel that way. There's that clash with this monkey. And the third thing that happens when we see the tiger monkey clash. So this year, when you have tiger in your chart, the monkey is clashing in, and the monkey is a sword or an axe. So we've got, you can see the image, right? You've got the tall tree and you've got the axe cutting it. So how I see this this manifest in my clients' charts is car accidents, surgery, or injury to their legs, because it's like the tree is your limb, ankles, knees, okay. And what I tell my clients when they have a tiger in their chart and it's a monkey year is the best way to deal with it is go and donate blood, because there's always a way to offset the negative. And this is called a blood knife clash. So blood has to be shed. And if you have surgery, of course, your blood is shed. If you have an accident, it means something's going to be cut. Sometimes it's just a fender or something like that. We've still got 6 months left of this tiger or this fire monkey year. So go donate blood. That'll cut the risk to you or the severity of any accident or injury by 50%.
Wow.
Okay, so you want to know that.
I can hardly do that fast enough in the way that I'm feeling right now. And I have another trip. So now I have in the little back of my head concern about my next trip and that some incident might happen. But I was telling Amy that I've had several fender benders already this year. So I was hoping that had cleared it up. But
it has helped
a little bit.
Yeah, it has helped.
So I love that. Those simple advice like that I can go donate blood to lessen the impact of
and the other
the results.
The other thing to do is just slow down, be more alert, make sure that you're not rushed, leave extra early, don't lose your patience, succumb to road rage. Just be more alert, because oftentimes it's not you that causes the accident, it's someone else.
So it's interesting, and this is the sense that I've gotten, and I love the I feel like it's a universal, I'm in tune with something and I don't even know it, is that one of the accidents was that someone pulled into a parking spot and hit my car. I was in a meeting in the hotel and I never even knew that it happened until I came out. But as I drive ever since then, I'm super sensitive, like someone's going to hit me. Or I'm going to hit someone else. And so I'm just really, and I'm like, I wasn't even in the car that I would have felt that and then become this in tune. And yet I still am. Just so interesting that the tie we have to our attachments, because, I love my car. I'm really not, like I don't need a fancy car, but once I have a car, that's my personality, right? When I get something, I'm passionate about it.
No, really?
It's my car. I'm so passionate about it. It's like, please don't touch my car. And so now it's my baby, and I'm like, ah. And then right after that, got a new bumper, fixed it, and then got a camper that was attached to the car, and really, it was attached, and drove out of my driveway, and it came off the hitch and hit my bumper. Like 2 days in difference. This makes no sense why it came off. It was totally attached. So, it's the energies that are operating in the world that happen.
And I'll tell the Lord now that the monkey is actually August. So August is when this is the highest chance of the accident happening. So if you were born in a tiger year, or if you were born in the month of February, that means you have a tiger month in your chart. So that's an automatic clash for you this year. And the funny thing is, in 2010 was the year of the tiger. And I had 2 monkeys in my chart. So I was taking my own advice. I, hadn't been to donate blood yet. I had the same thing happen to my vehicle.
Oh, wow.
It was parked in a grocery store parking lot. And I got the page, will the owner of the blah, blah, blah with license plate, blah, 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 please come to the front. I'm like, and sure enough, it was the same thing. Somebody came out of the parking place and just took out the back of my vehicle.
They were kind enough to tell you, though. My person just left.
Yeah.
So there you go. So what I'm going to set an intention here that's important to me, because I absolutely believe in what she's telling us. And I have a trip to the Boundary Waters, August 7th through the 12th. And I don't think it's a good idea for me to be in the Boundary Waters without having donated blood.
Nope,
so before I go to the Boundary Waters, I'm going down to the blood bank and donate blood so that I'm sure that I'm safe on my trip. Don't cut any corners.
Yeah. Make sure everybody knows where you're going to be.
Follows the rules. Yeah. And awesome. So I love that. And so I have another question because I believe that my, I'm going to come in with the word, but that my sign typically I would be associated with fire. Okay. As a personality type.
Okay.
I'd be associated. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Personality typing is different than what I do.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So that's what I need. Because when you pulled me into the water, right? That's not usually where I see myself. Certainly made sense what you said. Absolutely made sense about who I am. But can you make a distinction?
So when we go back to the Buechler in LuAnn, the reason you feel like you have this fire is because of the structure of your chart. The structure of your chart is called Rodwell. And it sounds kind of, they have really interesting names. There's herding officer, eating God, direct officer, seven killing, Rodwell. So this is the structure. This is the interaction of the pig month you were born in and the water day master that you are. Now the pig month you were born in is lots of water. Also, it's yang water. Remember I said the yang water is like, tumbling waterfall. It's the ocean that's always moving. It's very deep. It's very passionate.
Oh, yes, there it is.
But the Rodwell structure is a supreme networker. It's somebody who builds huge relationships with people. You know what you do? You network with a purpose. You don't network just for the purpose of making friends. You network for what can I do for you? What can you do for me?
Right.
And Rodwell are the life of the party. The party doesn't start till the Rodwell gets there.
That's me.
So that's where you're sensing that fire energy. And there's actually the Rodwell presence in your.
I love that so much. Yeah. You see how what she does can make so much sense of your life? And and the name of your company is perfect, right? Infinity Life Design. That she can help you design it based on your charts and the energy. And we've talked about this before. Everything is energy, right? And our emotions are energy in motion. And we're feeling that energy in us. And so when I felt out of sorts and just like everything was in chaos, she made sense of it. She made sense of it and told me what to do with it. And I love that so much. Amy, any other words of advice for our listeners?
There is a couple of things just for the remainder of the year. Let's get back to the Feng Shui.
Okay, let's do that.
Kind of go back where we started. So the Feng Shui side of things, this year in 2016, one of the most significant pitfalls in a home arena would be the Northeast. So if you were to stand in the center of your house and look at what is located in the Northeast, so you kind of stand in a circle, like an internal compass, or you can use the compass on your smartphone, figure out where the Northeast is. If you have a bedroom there, or it's a room that you spend a lot of time working in, or sleeping in, or your office, just really try to keep that room quiet. Don't go in and start renovating, replacing windows or carpeting or anything like a pounding on the wall, because that will agitate the negative energy. Now, specifically this month, it's southeast. For the year, it's the northeast, but this month in particular, to the month of July, the southeast is pretty negative. And it can result in injury, significant illness. So you want to make sure that your head is not facing the southeast when you sleep. So it'd be, if you're putting your head on the pillow, it'd be that way would be the direction that you're sleeping. If you can change the direction, that would be great. Just go ahead and tilt the bed or move the bed one side of the wall.
Or sleep with your head at the foot of the bed. So I'm going to have to go home and do.
Oh no! See, you got the
totally have my head in the southeast corner of the household. But I'm not home much this month. So that's okay. So we'll fix it that way. And that's when I am home, I'll put my head at the foot of the bed.
That's what I've noticed is when I have clients that come to me, they've got some issues in their life. It doesn't just rain, it pours. So if they've got one small issue, like the clash with the finger, there's usually another issue that we're going to have to deal with that's holding them back. And once we can fix that, things start to turn around.
So fascinating.
Thanks. I love what I do.
So fascinating. See, she's passionate about what she does. And so I love her. We're connected. And, you know, I've tried to do some of this stuff on my own. And I don't know about you, but I need a coach, right? And so Amy's a great coach on this. And so look her up at Affinity Life Design and seek her out to get your advice and design your life around the energies and the signs that are happening, because she can help you sort through it. I can help you find your passion, and Amy will help you bring it into fruition. Right, Amy?
That's nice. True. I like that. Thanks, LuAnn.
I love it. Time's almost up for tonight, and it's been great to be with you again. I want to remind you that I'm traveling a lot for July, right? We just talked about that. So you're going to hear Motivational Mondays from all kinds of places in the month of July, and then we'll be back at Roca Climbing Gym on Monday, August 1st. And remember, we do Women on the Wall afterwards. So women, come on out. And you can listen to this live. We can have a conversation in the meeting room as I broadcast this. And then we climb the walls, literally. And it's so good for us to do that. And then rappel down like I did when I jumped off the U.S. Bank building. So if you've
donate that blood before you go climbing the wall next time.
I will. I'm so totally going to schedule that appointment before I leave Duluth so that I have it even out there. The universe knows I'm going to do that. So again, thanks for joining us on Motivational Monday, and please join us live in the future. We'd love to hear from you. And next time, maybe Amy can help you. Instead of revisiting my chart, she can help you with yours. So have a great week.